Hello, my name is Suryansh Saxena and I'm representing Group 16-2 from Delhi Technological University, and our topic is accident prevention using assisted driving. So what I'm showing you here is just a schematic design and the board design of a PCB that we have made for the project. The following board design you see is just a power regulation board. I have made this board for power regulation since MSP 430 that has been given to us is a low voltage microcontroller, mainly runs on 3.3 volts, and most of the sensors that we use in assisted driving are from 5 volt supplies. So rather using any ICs, I have made a separate power distribution board, and over here I'll just show you the schematic, and probably we can discuss the schematic as well. So in the schematic, you see I have inserted L293D IC. It's all the ICs and all the pin headers that have been shown in this schematic are nothing but actual component. No SMD component has been used. So firstly, you'll see an L293D. It's been used for a DC motor driver, and the reason why we are using a DC motor driver is to control two driving motors of our chassis. We'll be actually implementing this whole board and the motors platform on a acrylic chassis, which will be modeled as a car for accident prevention. Okay, so this is an L293D NE. These are the motor inputs, and this is how the schematic has been maintained. This is a 5 volt bus and a ground bus that I've created for several sensors like IR, ultrasonic, maybe camera. Some cameras have pan tilt zoom actions that run on 5 volt supplies. The reason why I haven't went for the 3 volt supplies is that they're not really promising, and the sensors, they start the limitation of the sensors to respond, becomes a major factor. So over here is also one of the interesting things. I've connected a pin header just for putting external power from the battery. It is nothing but a terminal block. This is just a jumper terminal that I had created because we are creating a PCB on a single side layer, and hence there were some issues coming on during the board design. The whole process was not able to get routed properly, so I had to place a jumper. Finally, these are the motor inputs. We can directly we I'm using these motor inputs to connect to MSP 430. So MSP 430 will be the main controller that will be giving commands, and whole of this board will act nothing but as a power regulator board, as a power distribution board. Okay, one of the most important ICs and one of the last ICs I'd like to show you in this schematic is the 7805 IC. It's a voltage regulator 5 volt IC. It regulates any external power up to 5 volts, and this is how we have connected it for most optimum power as per the data sheet of the IC. uh, that's all. Probably that's just filtering the V external voltage into 5 volts, and the 5 volts being coming it's been used in the 5 volt plus also in the L293D that is used to drive it, and so on and so forth, the other sensors. So that was the schematic. The final board, one second, sorry. The final board, design appears something like this. This is after a lot of editing, a lot of hiding the layers and everything. This is how the board comes out, and as you can see, the trace has been laid pretty perfectly. We have removed all the IC numbers and everything, and the board seems perfectly fine. I've tested the board with a simulator. I've tested the board on a protest simulator, and the board seems to work perfectly fine. So the next step that I'll be showing you is how have we actually used this design to make our own PCB. So one more important application that we will be moving towards from this step is how to make our own homemade PCB. So what I've got essentially is a copper clad PCB. I've got a printing PCB sheet. I've got felling solution, which is nothing but a PCB etching solution. That is sorry, not felling, but yeah, ferric chloride for PCB etching. That is generally for removing the extra copper from the copper clad. And we have a decent grade polish that will be used for cleaning the board. And that's probably all about this board. See you in the next tutorial.